Meza. Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final game of the day. Kcb-Nkumba taking on UCU. UCU starting with 6 points, but KCB fighting back very early in this game. It's now 5-6.
17 in 1, 16.
17?
Yes, 17, 16, 7, 2, 13,
16, 7.
2, 13, 4. 17. 17.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on the Sporters S Media Team YouTube page. Today we are focusing on the ladies match, our last match of the day, Kcb-Nkumba versus UCU. So these teams, it's the first time of them meeting in this season, and we see UCU has 15 points and KCB has 14 on that first set. My name is Memory Dube, Coach Memza, all the way from Zimbabwe, but I am here right now at NSAMBYA at the Sporters Volleyball Club, and I'm giving you the live commentary for this game. And we see a middle attack right there from Sporters. It's good to see Katrina back. I think when the season started, when her team beat Sporters 3-2, she missed that encounter, and then she missed also the day 2 encounters. But however, we saw her coming in last week. A substitution will be made right there by team UCU. And it seems she's going to the service box. So we've seen UCU lately coming from behind to win most of their matches, even as they're seated at the top 4 as well. Katrina puts that ball outside, and Grace takes that ball as a dump, and backcourt attack gone wrong there. However, it's picked up easily, and Grace will have another touch. She goes diagonal, and it is picked. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching, please note that lately there's no double touch in volleyball. So the rules keep evolving, the rules keep changing. Grace, jersey number 3 from Nkumba, will take to the service box. Nancy on the service box, and a forcet, nicely pushed, a dump, picked again. Praise is dumping most of those balls. She must be fearing a high block, because Praise is one person who normally goes all the way out to get in. Maybe the setters might need to give her a ball that is a little bit higher, because I know most of the times Praise really goes high, but the blocks are also pretty high, with Katrina on front court there, and the middle on front court right there as well from Nkumba. Praise again, she goes and she penetrates to the block and she steals a point. The sun is really out there today, so yeah, that's why probably volleyball should be an indoor sport. UCU are really sinking themselves there, even as they make a lot of errors on those balls. And Jennifer goes to the service box, even as we see. Actually, it's not Jennifer, it's Nancy still on the service box right there for Nkumba. And Nancy is quite a very good float saver. No, I was right, actually. It's Jennifer on service box, and the other is Scovia, the other middle. Scovia's, they vary her. Sometimes she plays middle, sometimes she plays outside. And Grace will go from that backcourt on the position 1, and she takes it to the net. It looked to me she was going to the line, but she cupped her hands too early before she had crossed that ball, and that led to her making that unforced error. 18-18 are the scores, and on the service box is Praise for UCU. She picks up on the libero. Katrina sends it over as a dump. Praise gets another beautiful pipe attack, and she scores on that one. I think the defense was really caught unaware. Scovia on that middle wasn't anticipating that ball was going to go, and Praise did pick that pocket very well right there. She'll go back to the service box even as they lead 19-18. And Peace scores for Kcb-Nkumba to level up the scores. Peace is one attacker, was very clever. Is one attacker with the experience, but also she's a member of the national beach volleyball team for Uganda. So she really knows what to do in these crucial moments. Substitution right there for Kcb-Nkumba. Nayo goes out, and we have the South Sudanese young lady coming in. All the coach has chosen to reverse that substitution. Back set doesn't go well. A dump picked up by Katrina, and the libero really calls out. We see the libero is making her first depart for Team Kcb-Nkumba. She was at Ndeje, and middle set, which is blocked right there. And she's well known for some of those kicks, and she kicks it and goes over, and they score a point. That was the new libero from KCB. Wow. I think it's funny how the referees never notice some of these mistakes, because the liberos are registered here for Nkumba are supposed to be one wearing jersey number 1 and the other wearing jersey number 12. But on court, we have a jersey number 10. So which will mean this would be more like a rotational foul, because that jersey number is not actually registered here. So I hope our refs can do a better job in picking up some of these small things. Kcb-Nkumba are now on a 2-point lead. Team UCU has called for a timeout right there. And back on court, the teams come in. Nkumba on that service box. Katerina, I don't know how they call it, Katrina on the service box. We saw Katrina featuring for the Uganda under-20 at the ended African Championship. Katrina misses that service. It goes on the net, and UCU will gladly take that point as they reduce the lead to a 1-point lead. And for UCU, middle, and that ball is picked up by Praise outside, and another one picked up right there, and they score a point. Definitely failed to capitalize on that, and KCB were like, thank you very much, and they scored that point. Peace still on the service box, and another block out right there. Even Scovia takes that middle. 3 points are clear to clinch the 2 points they need to get that first set. Is a team Kcb-Nkumba. Peace still on that service box for Kcb-Nkumba. She's also really a tactical server. She just crosses it, and there you go, ladies and gentlemen. She gets herself an ace, and as we have lately seen them starting to have a woo signal right there. Timeout called, set point. It is for Team KCB.
How will he be there? Okay, correction.
End of timeout. Peace still on the service box. Serves to Praise again. It's an overpass, and Betty easily blocks that one. End of set. Nkumba won set, and they win that set 24-22, even as Peace serves that a tactical serve right there. And we also see Coach Peter Tony Lakoni on the lineup. I think the previous games we had only JB standing in for those games. So it's good to see that the head coach is back with his team.
Hello, Uganda. How are you, Malik?
What are you saying? What are you saying? Huh? I can't hear you. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, so there are the latest table standings. I suppose this is as of today with VVC Vision Volleyball Club topping the table standings with 13 points. They are tied up with Sporters. However, I think they lead on a point ratio. They're followed by Sporters, and then KCCA, who still have a game at hand as well, are next right there. KCCA played today. They have another game tomorrow. And then we have UCU on 11 points, who are currently playing Nemo Stars, Kcb-Nkumba, and KU, who are the new entrants, are at the bottom of the table right there, which should be on red with UPDF. So they definitely need to get themselves to win more games if they want to stay in this league as well. And I think it's interesting that you'll note that except for Kcb-Nkumba, almost every other team has lost a game within the few games that we've played. I think this week is game day. It should be game day 5 and 6. So Kcb-Nkumba missed 2 weekends as they had some of their players on national team duty for beach volleyball. So that's why they have only a few games played. So let's see what happens. But I think it's also to note that these table standings, Kcb-Nkumba have played 3 games, because the first weekend they played Sporters, and last weekend they played 2 games, UPDF and Nemo Stars. So I think the table needs a bit of adjusting right there for KCB. We're back up for the second set. Let's see what happens. Both teams are keeping their lineup. Bridget to the middle, they are getting off court for jersey number 20, who's the libero, who is Maggie. So Maggie is the defensive specialist for the UCU Lady Doves, and Evers is the setter. They are starting to cheer on her team such that they need to probably start on a higher note for this game. Picked up right there, and a pipe, and well played by Praise, and she scores. Praise really defies the odds of height when it comes to the ladies volleyball here in Uganda, because she seems to be one of those who can really score well. She has some kind of volleyball IQ. I think her volleyball IQ is definitely above 50, I would say. So they lead 1-0 in this set. Service there to the libero, and an unforced error, it goes out. Millie goes there for the hand and easily gets a point. Millie is also one player who can play very well even as Tracy goes to serve and Bridget. So let's see how she's going to serve. Who is she going to choose? They are still choosing the libero, but that ball goes straight to Katrina. She didn't have to move. Who feeds Scovia that ball, and Scovia makes very good use of it, and she scores. So Maggie is on the bench today, and Katrina is started because Maggie, who came from KAVC, is now also their setter, has been playing most of the games as the starting, but today Katrina has also started. I think it's good sometimes to also really have that balance where you have both setters who can actually start and really play the games. Scovia on the service box right there, jersey number 7 for Kcb-Nkumba. She's tall and good height, but sometimes very lanky. Serves that one tactically and backcourt, and Praise sends that ball out. I expect Evers to really be setting better in terms of where the front court middle plays and the back court, someone who's coming to attack goes, because it causes really a lot of confusion for the two, and they might bump into each other and then they lose that poise. Scovia serves again to Praise, and a ball on court from the other side. Our apologies. That's the situation when we have courts that are not really separated that high. So they're taking the service to Mills, probably to just Mills or Praise, probably just to get them off that attacking option. And as we've seen, the setter is not really using their opposite so much, so which could be quite a disadvantage for Team UCU. It goes to Mills this time. Is it an overpass? Yes, it is, but the ref will not charge that one. And Jennifer setting that one, picked up after Betty doesn't contact well that ball. A dump there by Jocelyn. Pickups and out ball by Millie. The high blocks of Nkumba sometimes really don't give the opponent that attack option that they may need, and they really tend to do well most of the times, and it is the case as well today. So the blocks have to be split. Another dump there by Tracy, on court by Bridget actually, and she manages to get a block. Finally, UCU gets that point, and that's 3-4. Jocelyn the opposite on the service box, and Evers, who also has boasts of a lot of experience for this UCU side, is now front court, but she's quite a tall player, so there is no need for them to worry. What a middle attack. That's a good one, and there's kind of a connection that Jennifer and Katrina have really created, and it's so good to see players getting to know each other, understand each other, and create such connections, especially for middle players and the setters, because it's hard to beat teams that have a middle that is running all the time. And Nkumba lead 5-3. Betty on the service box and saves that one wide, and that's a freebie. I always call these ones a freebie, like you're just given a point for free right there. I mean, if the ball was going at a speed, I would say, as coaches can take that. But if the ball was just crossing the net, so how do you get it out? A save right there, overpass, and they definitely get it right this time around the UCU side with Bridget blocking down that, even as Millie is showing intent. The screen is towards 5 because the setter of the opponent, they are all on 5 right there. So they're going to serve straight to Grace of Kcb-Nkumba, jersey number 3. Another service. It hits the antenna this time around. Another unforced error for Nkumba, for UCU. Grace goes to the service box. Peace, the veteran, comes on front court. And she serves between Praise and libero. What a tactical serve. And the libero sort of smooths backward. I feel like that ball should have been played by Praise because it's on her right side and she's a right-handed, so she can make either a split step or a 1-2-3 step to kind of pick up that ball right there.
Take him out.
The ball is picked up right there, and Praise goes high and takes that line. You cannot afford to leave that line for Praise. So Katrina sort of left too big a line, and Praise says, very much thank you, I'll take it. And that was after her pass. So they reduced that point deficit by 2 points. And such it's good to watch such kind of play where an attacker sees where it is. And another good set right there, and Peace tries to look for that line as well and doesn't get it. Unfortunately, the ref says, what does the ref say? Okay, the ref has realized his mistakes and now calls for a replay. I think that ball was not touched, and that ball was out of bounds. That the ball that Peace played there. Screen is screening towards zone 5, and oh boy, we are gonna have a lot of those recalls, replays, because of the men's match that is happening next door. They keep getting their ball to our court, to the ladies' court, our court. Yeah. George, thank you for watching. George is saying here, Tusaba could translate Akubanga, yay, that too much English is not English in Burundi. Is it my accent or it's the English itself? Because I am Debele, so I kind of have an accent. So the libero bets that will give UCU a free ball, and to Evers, where is she gonna run? That outside, and Praise takes the line again, and the ball is touched. I do think Katrina needs to close that line and allow Praise to go to that diagonal if they want to fix that issue. So we're level 7 apiece right there. So the point goes to Kcb-Nkumba. Jennifer on the service box easily crosses, Mills passes in, another, and a good block from Scovia. Lately we've seen really Scovia coming up because they sometimes switch her to play on the outside, to play on the middle. It's good to see ladies also being flexible, especially considering that the demands of these positions are so different. The sets are higher on the outside, the sets are much more quicker on the middle position. Another ace for Team Nkumba. They're serving very well, targeting that ball between 5, so that's between the player who's on position 6 and in position 5. So a 3-point lead it is for Nkumba. She takes the ball again there, Mills takes it, the setter will go in, and we have seen her only setting 4 sets. It gets me really worried if I see a team playing that way. Does it mean they have an opposite that is not functioning? Does it mean that they don't trust the opposite? I mean, for the middles, it's understandable if the pass is not good, but the opposite gotta be working. On the service line right there, we have Evers at the setter, jersey number 14, middle, and it scored. So Katrina will confirm that middle until they are blocked, which is really a good job for the young lady. We've seen her develop in this past 2 years with Nkumba. We've seen how she started, how she won the league title with them, and here she is. And she scores the ace again, still on that same zone. So it's working for them. It's really working, serving that zone. Another error right there, even as the coach calls a timeout. So error after error from team UCU. So ladies and gentlemen, is it going to be a 3-0, or will UCU fight it through, even as they are being led here by 5 points? Timeout called by Coach Juma.
Live. Take him out.
And another service ace. They thought that serve was going out, and it hits on the line right there. Yet Katrina seems to be apologizing to his teammates, saying, oh, I didn't quite contact the ball well, but it's paying off, and we'll see a substitution. The coach says, Mills, you've heard enough of those aces, and gets on court Charity Hope. Katrina picks that zone, well picked up by Charity. Praise goes and gets the outer hand from Peace, and finally they get a side out point, but the scores have really gone. It's now a 5-point lead gap. Praise goes to the service box. I do think that UCU are on and off, and I do think that Nkumba are just looking solid on that service. They're looking solid on those blocks. Good strategy serve, and an outside ball picked up again. Are they going to be able to retain it? Yes, they do, but they send a free ball, and they will use it very well. Peace and picked up once again, and Praise will take the backcourt looking for that pocket, and she finds it. She seems to be scoring very well on backcourt more than frontcourt. I think could be a height issue vis-a-vis how the block is not timing her very well. They've scored 2 points. That means they've reduced the gap. KCB might want to start thinking about that one. We'll see if Coach Tony will decide to call a timeout, or he will say, no, we can still do this. Serve has gone outside, and Betty looks for that line and scores very well on that side out. Set right there on Katrina. His sets are consistent. His sets are consistent in height and where they go. They don't really have so much of speed, such that if a team is really calculative and tactical, they can be able to just wait a bit and block them. But it does work for Nkumba, as we've seen them win most games with those kind of sets. Praise on the backcourt and turns her hand as well. Katrina tries that backcourt. Peace will look for that pocket. She doesn't find it. Middle, and it is picked up. And they'll get a free ball right there, even as Peace sends it over the middle. Will move. Where's she gonna send it? Another mid backcourt, and this time around she finds it. Praise finds it. The backcourt is really scoring for them. But ladies' matches, they will really have a lot of defense, a lot of rallies. Yeah, that's like more like an expectation, honestly. And on the service box is Evers again. Service error right there by Tracy. So others are working on putting in the points, and she's working on removing them. Scovia goes to the service box, and Jennifer comes back on front court. We've seen lately Betty is who Nkumba is established as their person who's going to play that opposite position. She's quite young, so I do agree with having a lot of young players being introduced in this game. Another ace right there from Team Nkumba. I think Team Nkumba is really enjoying those and is really working on their services. Now the service goes to the libero. Evers will take that, and a block right there. You can't penetrate on Jennifer Bridget. It is shut down there like no through road here. There was no one to cover her right there. And 18-11, KCB might not be able to recover from this, even as we see Daphne the setter coming in. So please note there are two Daphnes in team UCU. So Daphne has come in there to relieve Evers setting, but most of the time she's the one who's always been starting. That is Daphne picked up, and there's quite high blocks right now, so it might be so hard for them to score, even as Grace blocks the opposite there, Jocelyn, who I think for me is the first time I've seen her being served. And the liberos will also have a try at switching each other. Maureen coming in for Margaret. It's a good game. It's a good game for ladies. The blocks are good. The serving is tactical. Let's see what Daphne can do. Picked up by Peace right there, who's also very good in defense. And out it goes. That set kind of went more on the outside, and Betty was not really in a position to bring it back to the court, so she tried the diagonal, but it also could not work. The service there on court, and in the middle. Oh yes, a middle always scores. I think that's it. That's it for me, honestly. Middle, if your middle has moved very well, it always works. A substitution there by Coach Tony Peter Laconi. Betty goes out, and Dina comes back. Dina is also full of experience. She has played in Rwanda before. She has played a national team. Might be on a retirement, but she's still winning games. So I see no reason for her to really retire. Let's see where she takes that serve, even as everyone has been getting those aces. She takes the serves to praise, and the set goes to 4. Another pick up there. The blocks are doing a good job having touches. That set kind of goes out and picked clumsily by Team UCU. They managed to pick it up, and it needs someone to calm down. Another touch, another clumsy pick, and dump picked up. It's gonna go to the backcourt, and Peace sends it on the net with that error. Oh, the rallies are really so long. But I find as if UCU are rushing their game, and that has forced KCB to also kind of rush their game as well. But the score deficit is really too big. With such errors coming up, so it's really not helping UCU. Nkumba will gladly take that. Grace goes to the service box at 21-13 in this second set, live from Sporters Volleyball Grounds, the home of classic volleyball. Outside, out it goes again. Just so it be known to the viewers out there, as a commentator, I really get bored when I watch a team sets a lot of 4 sets, It shows that the setters are not thinking, but yeah, it is what it is. That's the match we're watching right now. KCB will love it, because then it means for them they can actually know who to block, even as another 4 set comes and Praise sends it out. 23-13 it is. You see you struggling with those service receptions. Praise has really done so many errors for her to keep getting those sets. So set point it is 24-13. Grace will be looking to wrap up that set. Nkumba is really showing the level that they are at and the level that UCU is at with that statement. She misses that serve, but it might not do them any harm. I mean, the point difference is 10 points. Easily picked. Peace goes and gets that line, and 2-0 are the scores, ladies and gentlemen. I think in this game, honestly, KCB are really serving tactically. They are really attacking tactically. And as we always say, the game of volleyball needs that. It needs to see how are you setting, how are you attacking. And we're seeing that this Nkumba side is doing everything very well. Their cover is working, their blocks are working.
I think that I had alone. Where's that ball? Where's the ball?
We also have seen Team Kcb-Nkumba trying to introduce Guti Alpha, jersey number 2, is their other setter. I would really be happy if Coach Tony is normally really coaches these young players very well, because she'll be one of the tallest setters in the land, and if she can learn to block, it really would be a good thing for their club and for the country as well, if they can have two of those tall setters. Thank you for staying with us here, the Zambia Sporters Volleyball Grounds. The live brought to you by S Media. My name is Coach Memory Dube. Kcb-Nkumba leads 2 and UCU has 0 in this 2025-2026 volleyball season. I'd love to hear your predictions. Which teams do you think are going to finish on the top 4? And in regards with the ladies, we have got KCCA, we've got the likes of Sporters, we've got the likes of VVC, and then the 2 teams that are playing, UCU and KCB. Those are the teams that really at the moment are really looking competitive. I'm not forgetting VVC as well. So it means in the ladies category we have about 6 strong teams, and the competition really is good. We just want to see tomorrow we'll have another lively game, even as Sporters takes on UCU. We are back on, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, you kind of went quiet a bit. Still watching this game, and thank you if you're still watching. Thank you for staying with us. Kaitare and Nod, I hope I've pronounced well, but if not, yes, I'll just stick with Kaitare. You seem to be saying KCB. Oh yes, they are playing very well, and they're leading the sets 2-0, and they're also leading this set, which I might say the last set 3-0. But what they're doing really, really well is they're serving tactically. Their blocks are working, and whenever they defend, they just make use of those points. Katrina are going right there, and they score. I think Betty didn't quite press on that ball, and then hence Mills found a way of coming in through right there. 1-3 is the score right now. But also there's the claps that seem to confuse me. Now I don't know which one is the Nemo clap, which one is the KVC clap. Peace takes that line, and she doesn't find it, and definitely will look for a dump from backcourt. Is that Daphne? So the scores are 2-3 right now. She sends the ball on the net, even as her teammates were really counting on her. KCB will be like, thank you very much, but for that matter, one of our best servers is going to the service box, so it kind of really helps for them. Almost an ace right there, picked up by Betty in the middle, and she dumps it and gets that dumper. Nicely done.
is it 1 hour and 44 minutes? Sawa kumi. Sawa kumi na dakika tano.
And another block right there from Scovia. Coach Tony giving her some instructions right there. I like the fact that sometimes players can do something very well and then they get the point, but if it's not how you have to execute that skill, you will see a coach correcting that. So she got the block, but Coach Tony is kind of correcting her right there. Another good service from Peace forces the ball to go to Mills, and it's picked up by the libero, and a good set on the outside, and Grace makes use of that and scores. Peace still on the service box, 7-2 it is. I think this time around Nkumba have started with a statement, Kcb-Nkumba that is, and libero kind of misses that one, and they score a point. (3-7) it is. Mills on the service box, praise, and Peace tries to kick that ball, but it doesn't happen well. Picked up in the middle, and it goes through the block. Good connecting, good passing right there. The game is also quite a bit slow, so just pardon my slow commentary. Sometimes there's just no action. They're picking up the ball, but such are the latest matches. Picked up by Patricia, set on the opposite. Praise has now changed position. She's playing opposite right there, and on the outside, will Patricia score it? No, it's picked up, and a block there finally by Bridget. 5-8 are the scores. Bridget on the service box, Peace and Grace looking to be the main receivers right there. She serves to Grace, and it forces Katrina to just use a dig set that side and opposite. So you see what I meant, that the opposite has to function. They have put praise on opposite, and now the setters are just looking for her everywhere. Let's hope it can really make that difference for them. And as we have seen, an error there by Grace. The point gap that was like 5 points has been reduced to 2. So Kcb-Nkumba needs to be aware something has changed on the side of UCU, and try and find a solution for that. But Coach Tony, I know he's really one of those coaches who will pick it up. Their service also now strategic, and to Betty right there, and Betty sends that ball out. I think it hit the antenna. So if the ball hits any part, any obstacle in volleyball, even if it hits a bird, I mean, considering we're playing outdoor, the ball is considered out. So on Sporters Media team, we want to say thank you to the likes of Kasasa, our media guys, Mr. Ken Rwanga, Dewo, you know, the guys that are behind the scenes, our cameramans, Bagumas, the Najibs, Ken. So those are the people who make it possible for us. Pardon me if I forgot your name, Shamira. Those are the people who make it possible for us to just see these games, and from wherever we are, you know, we want to just take this time to also appreciate them, even as Coach Tony has been forced to call a timeout as the point deficit has been reduced to 1. So UCU has also really changed their service. It's now tactical. It's now going towards position 5, that is between Pisa and Grace, right there, forcing Katrina to move out and only set for one zone where they can see. That one goes in the middle. Will she set middle? Yes, she does. Unfortunately, she is blocked by Tracy. Their second block, ladies and gentlemen, and we are level in this set. So well done to Coach Juma for kind of changing that rotation and confusing the enemy. Confusing the opponent, I meant. On the outside, Grace will take it and it scores. You can tell by the way a player explodes. By exploding, I mean the approach that they take towards a ball. You can tell if they're gonna make a point out of it or not. So then finally they managed to score, and Betty, the opposite, all the way from South Sudan, is gonna go to the service line. Betty looks like she's just gonna cross that ball. Unfortunately, she serves the ball outside. She's a young player. She needs to be motivated. We see the bigger players just going to her to say hard luck. I think she didn't take that much of time to just bounce her ball and just look at the place where she's going to serve. On the opponent court, we have on the service box right there. Oh, it is picked up. It was looking like it was going out. And that ball does not cross. And that was the opposite, Jocelyn. So the substitution that the coach has made is also making a difference on the side of UCU. And that ball again goes to zone 5. And the middle picked up. And net touch on the side of Team Nkumba. And UCU will live. Oh, UCU have finally taken a lead. They've taken a lead. I think it's the first time in this game that they take a lead. But let's see what solution Coach Tony and her girls have right there. Okay, she changes. She picks the libero. It goes in the middle. Good set on the outside. A touch that is made, which makes it very well. Middle, a dump that is picked by Katrina. And a set that has gone wrong by Jennifer right there, which gives UCU another chance to score. And Patricia goes on that ball as well. Another dump that is picked. Who's going to go that one? Middle, she's blocked. Oh, she doesn't manage to cover herself very well, and it's a point. Quite a good and intense rallies right there from both these two teams. And we see that definitely the setter from UCU is also starting to put in a little bit of combination play right there, giving the middles those sets that were missing from the time that Evas was setting. But the Nkumba block says, we will not go away. Serves to Mills right there and sets backcourt and looks for the pocket. Betty picks it up nicely. Katrina goes on the 4. Peace sees that. Another pick, another rally. Oh, you can't go against Jennifer. Come on, with that height. Jennifer takes that and puts it down, and the scores are level, 11-11, with Nkumba 2 sets up already. First referee is Malay. I don't know his other names. And the second referee is Carol right there. Mills from all the way outside a bit of the 3 meter, but it's supposed to be a front court set, and she scores that point even as she reduces power. She sees the blockers are already up, but if she reduces power, it will find them going down, and it does pay off even as Mills goes to the service box for Team UCU. She picks on Betty right there, who has been put on the spot to receive, and they get that ball, and she throws it, and block touched, and the libero can't get to it. Betty can't get to that ball. UCU is back to that lead of 2 points. Mills still on the service box. She's picking on the side where Betty is, and makes a pointed drop again, and they touch it. How is she going to set a backcourt? on the pocket. Betty picks up, it goes to Katrina. Oh, Katrina tries to set that middle, doesn't go well, and it goes to the opposite, who dumps to Peacemaker. To Peace it goes. Will she dump? And unfortunately, she gets on the ball on the net. Those are rare errors that you can get from a Peace. Coach will make a substitution to bring in Maggie. Like I said earlier on, that KCB boasts of having two equally compatible setters and very competitive, who know what to do at any given time. So let's see what Maggie is going to change in this game. Picks that zone 1 again. And middle, a dump is picked up by the setter, UCU. Backcourt, she dumps it again, it's picked up. The libero comes in to set for, and Peace. Guys, please take me so that the fans can see where the ball landed. Guys, cameras, please. Cameras, please. The ball is on my hand. Take me. Cameras, switch. So, ladies and gentlemen, that ball ended up in the commentary room. I don't know how it happened, but that's such a rare error. Unfortunately, the people, our cameras didn't quite pick that up. It was going to be a beautiful moment right there. That ball was hit and sent out by Peace, and UCU continues to with the lead. An ace substitution right there for the middles for KCB, and coach is forced to call another timeout. Coach Tony has taken both his timeouts in this set. Will UCU turn it around? I said it earlier on that lately we've seen most of the games that UCU plays go too decisive. Will this be another one? We watch and see. But I like the fact that UCU are now really playing their middle, but they're also using their opposite. So that gives the opportunity for the blockers to have homework to think that is on the KCB side. But Coach Tony is always up with his game. He has also brought in some substitutions. He's brought in Nancy, who also has a lot of experience right there in the middle, possibly for Scovia. But also he has brought in Maggie for young Katrina. I wonder if Coach is going to be forced to bring in what am I thinking? Dinner for Betty. Watch that. If you know Kcb-Nkumba, you know what I'm talking about. Still on the service line is Mills there, even as she hits Betty. Betty goes up and sends that ball out. We might see that sub. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming coach might call that sub as well, even as he seems to be bringing in all his experienced players. Mills is serving very well right there. (17-11) on this third set. UCU are leading. An ace from Mills. I don't know why in volleyball we never apologize, but in tennis, when a ball hits the net and you score a point, you actually apologize to your opponents, because you're like, that's not how I really wanted it. But I've seen in volleyball, people really do celebrate. Woo! There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There is the substitution I was talking about. Dina, jersey number 4, Ina for jersey number 19, Betty. How many substitutions does Coach Tony have remaining? 2. But will that make a difference? We just watch and see, even as the point gap is 18 UCU 11 Nkumba. Dina takes that ball, it goes to Nancy. Grace will take that swing, and UCU managed to retrieve that ball. I assume she will set for that middle. It goes to Peace and it's blocked, and again it goes to Peace. Will she use the hands? There are no hands to use. Mills is doing a very good job with that 6 cover, and another attack. The libero is standing. I think I will call for another substitution. Okay, this is not a substitution, but it's just an exchange. I think Coach Tony needs to try Auma on that libero position as well. It's not really working for Betty. 19-11. UCU lead. Mills still on the service box. Dina picks that ball to Nancy, and all liberos. I was here last weekend in the commentary box. I was really not happy with liberos. But there goes another one that you're assuming, okay, the libero was going to pick that well. But Nkumba says, thank you very much, we'll take it. Nancy, another tactical server, very good floater, goes to the service box. Goes to the libero, she doesn't pick it well. It goes again and again to Patricia. No, that's not to, yes, that's to Patricia, and she scores that point. To Millie. It goes to Millie, and she scores that point. Tracy on the service box, Dina, and on the outside to Peace, and she's picked up easily by Tracy. Unfortunately, there is a net touch from Team UCU. Maggie goes to the service box. I think Nkumba really has quite a lot of tactical servers, because I'm just remembering here that what's her name, Maggie, the setter, Jazz 11, is also a very good server. Crosses it to the libero, and it's gonna go to the backcourt, and that point goes wide. Patricia didn't quite jump on that point right there, and reduces the points to 6. In the ladies game, ladies and gentlemen, as Agaba Eliam always says, my colleague who's not here today on the commentary, he says it's not over until it's over. Good pick from the libero. Middle, no. Outside, a block, picked up, and where is she pushing it? She pushes it right nicely there to the middle end. It goes to Peace again. She dumps it. Oh, there is a net touch. She dumped that ball on the net. Unfortunately, UCU touched the net. Yes, there was a net touch right there from the middle blocker. Coach Juma calls for a timeout. Point deficit has been reduced to 4. End of timeout. Mag is still on the service box. Will UCU maintain the point lead, or will KCB reclaim what has been their position during the rest of this game? Middle, and it's a dump, and they're gonna send in a free ball. It's picked up at the backcourt right there, and on the outside, and ball goes out of bounds. 4-point gap it is. If you ask me, what would I do if I was Coach Duma? I'll just get praise on the front court there to come and block, considering that she has Dina, who's a shot blocker. But I am not. I'm just here on the commentary box. And to the opposite, she swings. That ball goes to Maggie. She picks it up. And a good set right there. Dina doesn't manage to cross it over. And finally, after defense, they managed to get that side out point. That is UCU. Nkumba are really playing. They really played very well to cover that gap, but it's 5 points now. It has been reduced from what it was, which was 8. Daphne, the setter on the service box. It means 3 attackers front court. And also Nkumba also has, that ball almost taken over and picked up again as a free ball. Will she score from it? A touch, and they don't manage. Grace doesn't manage to pick it up on 6. I don't see the blocks of Nkumba. I think that is what is really missing this set. Definitely still on the service box right there. The libero is aced. The libero hasn't been doing quite well. 23-16 it is. I think this one is going to go to UCU unless otherwise, by some miracle, Peace can manage to save up to where they can catch up. Daphne saves again to the libero, and she overpasses that ball. Almost, it's picked up. Middle, and Nkumba never goes wrong if they play middle most of the times. On the net it goes. UCU shooting themselves in the foot. Like I said, if Peace can pull out those serves, that can really be strategic for her team to come out of this, because right now it's a 4-point gap, which seems quite reasonable for the experience she has. And she serves well. It's gonna go opposite. That was good thinking, and it's picked up. Oh, what a pickup! Unfortunately, the libero is walking on court. Oh my, oh my. Someone has picked that ball, but the libero doesn't run to pick up that ball. Set point it is. UCU 24, Nkumba 18, even as UCU just plans to grab a set. And the set is over. I honestly think the Nkumba libero is struggling. This is the first we've seen her featuring in these games. The other libero, however, who is on the bench with her, normally also really struggles, but I think she would struggle a little bit better. So for me, that was the difference. Once UCU realized this, they just took advantage of that. They started serving her, giving her more pressure, but also the UCU setup was just splitting those blocks. On the Nkumba side, though, I think the pass, as I said, kind of went wrong. So normally if a pass goes that wrong, it means you can't run the middle. So if you can't run the middle, it's hard for the outsiders to score, because the blocks will just come and mount for them. But in this case, even the sets were not allowing Nkumba to take swings. The sets were only allowing Nkumba attackers to just cross that ball over, either by volleying or just by just digging that ball over, which really cost them this set. Let's see how they get to switch that up. Let's see how they get to improve and work on that. The first ref, Malay, calls for both the teams to come back on court, and the second ref, Carol, right there, is in charge of just making sure the teams get on court. In case you're there, you're wondering what happens in volleyball, what are their roles. The first referee is more like the top guy who just oversees the game. The second referee, who stands down and is closer to the scoreboard, sort of like sees the rotation, the net touches, and just like any other sports, the referees have the final say, especially the first referee. I hope you are enjoying watching volleyball on this Saturday. The heat was really too much today, but right now at least it's much better. The sun is setting. Teams are getting back on court. I assume Coach Juma will keep the line up that won him this set, but I also assume Coach Tony will also make changes right there. Okay, Coach Tony has also really started with the players that he started with the set, with Katrina back on court, but also with Scovia and Jennifer right in the middle right there, and bringing back young Betty on the opposite side, while on the left side is Peace and Grace. So for UCU, Patricia and Mills are on the left side. And then on the opposite right side is Jocelyn and then Daphne in the center. And in the middle is Tracy and Bridget. Beginning of the fourth set. Will this game go to a decider? Or will Nkumba come back to reclaim this game as Peace goes to the service box? Back to the serving strategy of serving zone 5, and that block goes out. Big swing by Millie. They are screening towards zone 1. Will Millie serve to zone 1? It's good to see that teams are able to set up a screen, but it's good to see, he chooses to serve zone 5 and he does get that ace. That's Millie right there. So I'm wondering why the screen is going towards zone 5. Serves to Grace, middle it is, and what a block! Oh, Bridget, oh my. I think that ball was kind of on the hands of the blocker. Maybe if Katrina had moved that set just a meter away, it would have made sense, because the outside blocker was the opposite. Jocelyn is standing very far away. So 3-1 it is, UCU leads to the libero, pass off and forced. Oh, that's a good score from Grace, considering that the set had really gone outside the antenna. It means that the UCU guys didn't anticipate well. The blockers followed the set, and the liberos didn't move in to see that ball from the direction where it was coming from. Scovia goes to the service box for Kcb-Nkumba, even as they trail by 1 point on this fourth set. She serves safe in the middle, picked up by libero. Middle, no, opposite takes this big swing. It's amazing how this opposite can take those swings, because the first 2 sets really we were not seeing her. And a dump there, picked up nicely. Okay, both teams are really seem to be fighting when it comes to those dumps. And Betty will take another dump. Libero picks it up, and it goes out, even as heels taken out. Daphne takes that ball out. Libero picks up outside and block, touch. It goes out, unfortunately. So lead is back. And Bridget goes to the service box, even as Tracy comes on court. Serves to the libero and to Betty, touched and is picked. Mills, who's gonna take it? Libero picks it up, middle. Oh no, she can't set middle. Grace, oh, unfortunately it doesn't cross. Grace was looking for the line right there. The passes are really not giving the Nkumba side, to the setters, to a chance to play the combinations that we know them to play. Oh, that ball did come through. Okay, my apologies for that. It's a point for Kcb-Nkumba. Betty goes to the service box, the opposite. Betty, it just crosses it to 6. Unfortunately, it's still not passed well to the opposite, who looks for that pocket, and Katrina picks it up. And Grayson trying to take that ball to the long diagonal as compared to just giving it to the opponent, just goes wide, and Nkumba takes that point. So the game has slightly changed. So both these two teams are just staying head to head, even as they fight to score those points. Jocelyn goes to the service box. It goes to Peace, who we haven't seen much, and a middle, good connection right there. And that's what Katrina really, really wishes the passes would come. That's how she wishes the passes would come. Picked up by Hills Daphne there, and she has to dump that ball over. That is picked up by Grace. We can hear people saying, use. Peace will gladly take that line. And Nkumba are in the lead right now. So those are, because the middle has been running this past couple of points, that is why the outsiders are now also able to find the court. It means the middles from UCU are now committing. Grace is still on the service box. Serves to zone 5. It's picked up by Patricia and block touch right there, and the ball does not cross the net. Oh, it's a carry that was called on Pieces. She tried to recover that ball after the block touch. Six apiece, that's what we used to call it, 6-6, and Patricia saves the ball out. Back to, Nkumba back to the lead, 7-6. Let's see how long they can hold on to this lead, or if UCU will just come back and just grab it right there. Opposite set, and middle plays that ball, and a scramble right there for Katrina to get it, but she really does get it, and she scores easily on that point. Good pick by Grace, middle with the block touch, and she scores. Katrina on the service box, she's right in the middle of the baseline, so meaning it doesn't show which side she wants to choose to serve. Good pick up, middle, and what an attack. Betty, who's not down to cover her block right there, is hit by that ball on the face. So she was just caught unaware. So Bridget is really exploding on that point. Really exploded on that point. So both these teams really running a middle to middle game, which is quite interesting, and is quite a good game, I think, for modern volleyball. And on the outside, oh, what a blow. That is Jocelyn. So UCU still saying, wait a minute, this game is not over. But KCB also hanging in right there to say, you know what, we have the two sets, so we will really also give our best. They seem to be serving to Peace now. Back to Betty. Betty dumps that ball. And back, and both teams are dumping. I think the sets are must, and they are not giving them the height. Pick up, a good pick right there. Will she go for it? She goes for it. A good pick up in the middle. Yay! And the middle scores. I celebrated that point as if I was a player. The rally had really gone on for so long, and obviously it needed a quick attack to kind of get that point. Peace, jersey 14 for Kcb-Nkumba on the service box right now. Will she get back to her service run that she had the previous sets? Picks the same point, and aces again. My, oh my. She could be the best server for this game, I mean, if there were awards, because she has really done a good job on that service to 5. And they're adjusting right there, the players, the UCU players. She picks the libero this time, who passes very well, sets to opposite. Unfortunately, that Millie doesn't really go that high. No, that's Mills. Sorry, let me check again. Most of their names are really like the same and confusing. That's Millie, yes, jersey number 13, UCU. She gets that ball on the net, giving Pace another opportunity to serve. And Nkumba are now leading 11-9. And she sets middle, which is block touched and picked up. Patricia picks up that ball, and it goes again to Millie, who sends the ball out wide. I think that's confirming way too many times. Coach Juma will call a timeout. 12-9 is the set scores. Thank you, Michael. I see here you're saying I'm on. And thank you, Lucas, for also joining in. And you're saying Nkumba 7-3, and you lose 18-25. Disgraceful. Well, it's volleyball, man. Everyone came to play. So I think it's about the side that will just get in their maximum concentration in any given set, in any given point, at any given time and point of the game. There are a lot of momentum shifts in this game of volleyball. Like I said, if the pass is not working, it means the attack is not working. If the serve is not working, it means the block will also not to be able to stop and block the opponent. So yeah, I think that's what happened right there. But on this fourth set, Nkumba is leading comfortable 12-9, and Peace, jersey number 14, is on the service box. She's been serving to zone 5. She serves again to zone 5, and it's a good serve because the setter is not comfortable. Oh, clumsy block on the opponent side. I think the ball touching the belt kind of disturbed them, and Patricia gets that point. 10-12 it is. It's encouraging to see that even the ladies are trying to play that tactical game of serving well, of just picking on certain players and really finding their strengths. It can really improve our game. And the libero positions well this time. The set doesn't really cross well to the opposite. Grace, it will go to Grace on that backcourt. It is picked out by the heels, and it goes to Patricia, and she scores. Patricia has also really changed this game for Team UCU. While on Coach Tony's side, I think there's really been a lot of slacking like on the block. They're not really as strong as they were the first two sets. So 11-12 UCU serving. Middle and block, and it's picked up on the outside to Grace. Grace dumps, and the ball almost picked up, and they managed to pick it up. Oh, what an effort. Middle, it's picked up again. That is Katrina doing what she can do best, hitting that middle. Katrina serves on the opposite, and another block. They sort of disturb each other on the outside. Grace, and she manages to score a point finally. There were a couple of good attacks, good swings, but also good defenses from both sides. Scovia on the service box. Kcb-Nkumba still has that 2-point lead, 13-11. Service goes to the libero, and she is aced. Scovia again, she serves this time around to heels. The setter jumps, but she's backward. Will the ref see that? The ref doesn't get to see that. And oh, clumsy play from UCU. KCB should have ended that point a long time ago, because I thought the setter dumped with the intention to try and get the ball over, but the ref says no, she was setting. So it's a point up. The coaches are arguing there. Coach Tony probably saying that should have been a backcourt call, but Nkumba is leading and set on the outside and out. A lot of unforced errors from Team UCU, and the point gap keeps increasing. It's a 5-point lead right now, and Praise will come back on court, and Patricia will take to the bench. Let's see if Praise can change, or let's see if Team KCB will obviously be planning to wrap this game up. She's serving simple, she's serving strategic though, to that zone of between 5 and 6, and the passers are not really passing well, and Praise gets on court and takes that first point. Bridget goes to the service box, even as they try to chase the 4 points. She serves to Peace, who passes well, and a middle dump, and it scores. The UCU team are not ready for the dumps. I think right now, all the dumps that Nkumba has done on them are really working, and Betty goes backcourt. So the game might just end on these dumps because, I mean, it's working. Serves to the libero. The libero of UC is also really struggling right now. And oh my, sometimes it's really nice to block someone who goes full swing on those blocks, especially if they go direct to the hands of the blocker. That was Praise, who I said is a player who really explodes. But now the set was right, like obvious. It was very, very obvious because the middle just moved, joined, and just took her down, increasing that point gap. Again on the outside, and she is blocked. So they're insisting with those outside blocks. So Grace will take it, and she scores again. I think KCB have finally found a solution to get their block back. But if you ask me, it is because UCU has stopped setting opposite, and they've also stopped setting middle. So if you're a player or if you're a setter and you're out there listening, just remember that when I was on commentary, you heard me say, if there's no middle, your team will struggle scoring. If there's no opposite, your team will struggle scoring. But also you may also want to have passers who are steady with that pass. End of timeout. That was called by Coach Juma. 19-12 it is. And the opposite first gets her first swing on court, and that is, like I said, what was missing from the Team UCU. That's how that point gap kept increasing and increasing, and the substitution is called right there. Betty will go off court, and Dina will come in. I think it's towards the end of the game, and Coach Tony says, you know what, I don't want to risk this. They're removing Grace from the service line, from the passing line, and they're putting Dina on that passing line. And they choose Dina to pass that ball, and it doesn't go well, and they give it to Peace. The libero from UCU doesn't move. It's like she's just stuck in the mud right where she is. I thought that was an easy read, but yeah, it does. The substitution does work because it lured them to stop serving to zone 5, and they served to zone 1 where Dina was, and she passed that ball very well. Oh, those aces keep coming. Those serves to zone 5 keep really working. So 21-13, what miracle can UCU pull up to get back on this set, but not on this set, even on this game, because this is the 4th set. Kcb-Nkumba have 2 sets and they have 1 set. To the libero right now, she also doesn't pass it very well, and the set just goes out of bounds. And you can see them celebrating, showing their hands that that ball was way out of bounds. Coach makes a substitution. Coach Juma, Millie goes out, and Charity, who we also saw at some point in this game coming back, is back on court. Let's see if she's able to turn things around in this match. She passes well. Will she set middle? Nope. Same old thing. 4 sets. Oh, that ball is picked, and it comes back. Libero sets. Is it going to the middle? No. Outside again. and she is blocked. Forset after forset after forset, like I said, and it is not helping Team Nkumba, but it is making it very easy. Team UCU, but it is making it way easy for Team Nkumba to block. And kudos to Team Nkumba for just serving well and forcing them to set those four sets. Another block, and the setter says, I'll take this on I'll take the team and carry it on my own hands because you guys are not scoring, and she manages to just steal a point right there. (14-23) is the score here. Nkumba needing 2 points. Patricia giving them 1 point with that service going on the net. And ladies and gentlemen, it is match point. We are shortly going to be calling it a rest for the day if Nkumba gets this point. If Nkumba doesn't, they still have 9 match points. So they still really have a chance of taking this game. No middle, and she dumps that ball and it goes on court. I think that's the first dump she has done. She should have started that a long time ago. So we're 15-19, 9 match points. Tracy goes to serve. Serves to Peace and gives it. That ball does not cross 8 match points. Will that be a miracle or no? They're just trying a few things right there, Team Nkumba. But also it's key to see that Peace didn't quite take a lot of swings in this game, but she did play a part in terms of the services that she was doing and the defenses she was doing. And she gets an ace, 7 match points. Coach Tony calls that time out. Will it disturb Tracy's service or no? Really, she will continue with that service run. Let's watch. So Team Nkumba is back on court, planning to really end this. And Team UCU taking their time to come back on court with Tracy, the middle blocker from Uganda Christian University. In case you're wondering what UCU means, it's Uganda Christian University, still on the service box. One of the just big renowned universities here. And that serve goes well. Peace looks for the hands. She finds them but doesn't use them well. And that dump works. Oh, wow. So UCU really by a thread. They are holding on right there. I mean, it's mission impossible, I would say, but so far they've really managed because they've scored like 4 points. They are on a run because they've reduced that to a 5-point match point a game. And she serves again, and will they score with that backcourt? And it goes off court. Oh, wow. It keeps getting better for them. I wonder at what moment Nkumba would score, but I assume if the pass comes right, the setter might set a Scovia in the middle, because the setter is also front court. I haven't seen Katrina dumping in this game, so the chances are high that she'll get to dump. However, Tracy from UCU had other plans. She's like, no, coach, I'm gonna finish the game for these guys after serving so well. And it's game over. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Memory Dube, aka Coach Memza, all the way from Zambia in Kampala, the home of classic volleyball. We just you're watching the Kcb-Nkumba game. They wrapped it up with 3 sets, and Uganda Christian University 1 set. The services worked very well for Team Nkumba. The blocks worked very well as well, but also for Team UCU, the time they tried to switch it up and just distribute their sets all across and not set 4 sets, it really worked for them. Thank you for joining us once again. Guys, do you have anything for me? You are welcome.
I have won. What are you complaining? How do you just come to
All right, we do have the table standings right there, but these table standings are still not correct, so I am not going to say them out there. They are as of when.
That's why I went to the promotion. One day I was explaining here, there is a poll I didn't see that. And I told family, to be honest, if it was there, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. That's why I put for that's why I put they don't know why I called it. And what I saw, I was trying to explain to them. They didn't back me on nobody can call it myself. I'm daddy, they're saying that's what you call it.
Oh, you're bad. Oh, you're here.
So I charge you for so that one was sky. I said I will leave it. I got a note, he said, all of them Nze muwonize ne muna asangala kumya Boyo yesterday Baba who bazanyije mekire was the best in East Africa. It was one time we rated the one Africa as a we've seen it for a visit. Go down for Manilo. Okay, fine. If I've made a mistake, I'm also human. So what? But you come and talk to me in a good manner, not in that all.
Yeah, it's correct. Okay, it looks correct. I'm not sure how correct it is, but it does. Let me see. Yeah, it looks better. So we have the table standings on the screen right there. VVC topping, Sporters, KCCA and Kcb-Nkumba, followed by UCU and the new entrants, Nemo Stars, Seroma, and at the bottom, KU, UPDF and KAVC is what we have on Saturday. So join us tomorrow on the S-Team Media channel, and thank you for watching. Will VVC remain up this weekend, or will they drop even as we go on tomorrow? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night.